Okay, this time we are going to do the easy version. I've changed my thread to Coats & Clark. I'm using the same needle, which was the 8012, but this time we're going to use a really thick stretch. A really good stretch on this Lycra. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it in half, and we're going to take our American Girl pattern, and we're going to figure out how much we need to get this glove to fit. So that's pretty good right there. So let's go ahead and make a cut. Just going to take this off and make a cut right here. Yeah, I gotta change my needle on my cutter. It's getting very dull. Missing spots. Okay, so your Lycra has two sides. You want the shiny side, so you're gonna, if you look at it, you can see one side is kind of dull, and then the other, it's got more of a real pretty shine to it. How can you tell which side is which? Too dark in here to see. That's the wrong side. The right side has more of a shine to it. You can tell by looking at it, it has a more pretty shine. So that's the right side right there. So okay, so let's do the same thing we're going to do. We're going to take our bottom and make a nice cut on the bottom so that we can put a hem in. So let's go ahead and even that up. Okay. I'm going to press a little harder so maybe I can get it in one good shot here. Okay, very good. Okay, so I've got a clean cut on the bottom. So here's my shiny side. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this up 1/4 of an inch. And I am going to put some pins in. I'm going to do the same thing on this one that I did on the other one. I'm going to start in a little bit so I won't have my feed dogs eat this fabric. You can try that spider where you put something behind it if that works for you. That's good too. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. Okay, so let me make sure you can see what I see. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to my same stitch. And because I'm putting in just a straight stitch, I'm going to go a little bit bigger stitch. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and sew across there. I'm going to go in a little bit, which isn't going to matter because we're not going to use that part of the fabric anyway. So let's go ahead and just get started here. Did you notice I'm not skipping any stitches? Okay, let me even out my fabric a little bit here. It got caught in the pressure foot. Stretched a little bit, but not too bad. But you're going to expect that because it is stretchy. You can try a nylon pressure foot if that'll help you. It's up to you. Or put the tape on the bottom of your pressure foot. But because these are gloves, it doesn't really matter if they stretch just that little bit on the top anyway. I don't think anyway. So let's go ahead and pin this in half. Instead of pinning our pattern on this time, we're going to actually iron it on. So let's go ahead and put our fabric together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my ironing board out. I tried ironing, the first green one I did, I put my iron way too hot, and what happened is I ended up burning the fabric. So let's go ahead and take the AG and the Madame Alexander glove, and let's just go ahead and press that right onto the fabric. Let me make sure you can see. We're going to line it up to the edge, lay it down, and then we're going to iron it on, and I'm at halfway between, right before nylon and acrylic. Okay, you just want it to set on there so that it stays on, so when you sew it, so you don't have to use your pins. And that's it, just the lightest iron possible that will excuse me. Just the lightest iron possible that will make the paper adhere to the fabric. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing now. We're going to reset. We're going to go back to our regular stitch. And I shouldn't have any problem sewing this one, so I'm going to start where I would have started normally on the last one, and that's right at the thumb. And I'm just going to start sewing. And same thing, I'm going to keep that paper right. Now, one thing you'll notice about the American girls is that they have quite a large span between their index and your thumb. So I accounted for that on this pattern. So you do have a wider stretch between those two areas. Okay, so that's why I'm going to come around here and get in that. Look like I might have skipped a stitch there. Let's see. Move this pin out of the way. If it helps, you can actually baste this whole square together so it'll stay in place for you better. You know, it's just an extra step, but it might help you easier sew this together instead of using these pins, pinning them together. Out of the way. What I did last time is I just turned my machine around and came back and stitched the opposite direction. And then cut. Okay, so I'm going to do that same thing up here on the thumb. I'm going to come back and put in one more securing edge to this so that I can make sure that that thumb's going to stay in place. So it's at this point you can take your paper off. You might have caught a couple stitches. It's not a big deal if you did. Okay, so I'm going to just come back and I'm going to sew from this edge down a little bit just to secure it so it doesn't fall apart on me because I didn't go all the way to that edge. Okay. Okay. Okay, so here we are. I did give a little bit of a nest egg there, but okay, so it's harder to see on the camera, I'm sure, because the fabric is the same color as the thread. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut this out and see how it looks. So, same thing, I'm going to cut, you don't have to be as close on this finer knit or this easier Lycra, because it moves out of the way easier than that metallic one does. Okay, so let's go here now, get the thumb out. And then when you get to this edge right here, you're going to want to put a couple clips in. And that's just so you don't get those bunches in the, you don't want to cut all the way through to the thread. You just want to do a couple clips in there so it'll lay flatter when you turn the glove around. See what I mean about how much easier this is to sew? Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this around. And I'll go ahead and put my thumb out again with this pencil. Okay, so there is your pink glove. Let's try it on the doll. Oops, I just dropped something. Let's see if you're in the camera or not. Here's the hand, and here is the glove. Okay, see what a nicer fit that is? And it's nicer because there's more stretch in the fabric than there is in the metallics. You can even fix that thumb up a little bit, make it thinner if you don't like it that. But I think that's pretty much going to be what they look like when you're finished with them. But that's I did it this way. See how I did this sort of flat here on the fingers? And I did that because the doll's fingers are flat. And you get that nicer fit, so if you want to put jewelry on it or well, this is the wrong color for this outfit, but you get the idea. Let me go ahead and put this on. I made this for an American girl, for the Madame Alexander, so this one should fit her. They're the same size hand. There we go. Okay, so there you go. You can get that on right. Silver doesn't match gold, but you get the idea. And then if you want to do that, you can do that. Make it come down. Do you see that? So that's how easy the gloves are. That didn't take hardly any time at all to make that. And you can do it either way. Like I said, you can go up high, go down low. But I got to tell you that this stretchier Lycra are so much easier to sew with than the metallics. But the metallics are pretty too, so you're going to want that too. So just a matter of more difficult sewing. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.